What's going on, fellas? This is Sir Studmuffin, leader of Affliction, and today we have a very important video. Cannot stress that enough. I'm going to go ahead and upfront apologize because you're going to see my whole computer screen because I'm going to be using this handy dandy kind of on the fly app that lets me, while I'm recording and whatnot, almost sketch, basically. I'm sketching a plan. So what we're going to do here is give the how-to of funneling. Hopefully this isn't going to be too long of a video. What we're going to go ahead and do is show some replays of why funneling is important and also what funneling is not. So here we go. We're going to start off, and then we're just going to show the initial attacks. Start off here. So I'm not trying to pick on anyone, I just want to show what happens. Okay, so the first thing you understand, while this is going, is that troop AI is going to have it to where troops will go to the next closest structure, unless it's a defense-oriented troop. Okay, so this is what funneling is not. He did like a line, a semicircle of wizards. Notice here, where is his king going? Did not get to this top structure, and boom, there goes a king circling the base. That's first thing you don't want to happen, right? You don't want the king circling the base. Now, let me show you something different, okay? Now, with the line, not only is it not funneling, but it's also a terrible use of wizards because he's using like 6 wizards to try and basically what he's trying to do was take out the trash buildings due to that age-old concept of the troop AI that they will go to the next closest structure. Instead, funneling here. Okay, so notice what I did. I took out 2 trash structures, and what I'm doing is forcing my troops to the core. Okay, so I took out those 2 structures so that the next closest defense or the next closest structure is going to be somewhere in the core, right? It was large enough, and you can see it right there. My queen's going in too because my funnel was wide enough. She didn't have any of these outside structures that she could get tempted to go on, and therefore she's helping with my troops, which is very important because the queen is a very useful troop to use, especially when she's in the core, especially if you're not doing a bait. So here we go. Now he's kind of got a little sporadic line, and in this case, his line, he used 5 wizards though. See, I only used 2. He used 5 wizards though to accomplish the exact same thing, and his was kind of time based. And then the wizards that he used die out. See, he look, I see like 1 or 2 wizards, and I think he used like what 6, 7 total. I don't know, but in this case, he did get it to go in. You know, he did go off a corner. I'm not going to get into that too much, but you know, in that case, it did work out for him. But he's got to use so many troops. Let's see here. Brian's attack on 1. Let's just kind of show you real quick, and then I'm going to show you a visual depiction of how this works. So, all right, notice here. Here we go again. Golems in, line of wizards. Okay. Stop here. Okay. Well, let's. Okay, so Valkyries go in, right? Good. Right. He cleared enough of the trash structures to where those were the next defenses. The Valk AI. Now the Valk AI is a little bit different because these Valk AI likes to go right into the next closest structures that are right next to each other. Okay, so the Valk AI goes in, the king is the same way, but look here at the queen. The queen goes to the cannon and then goes to this elixir collector because it was the next closest structure, and he didn't create the funnel wide enough to where now she's going out. And she's pretty much just a trash collector, right? She's just basically taking out the trash. So let's show you what I do here in my planning. Okay, so right here, I believe for this attack, what I did was I went boom, and I went boom, and I did this. Okay, so I'm creating my funnel now. This cannon's going to be focused on this golem, so I can put my wizard right here. Then I can put a wizard right here. Okay. I think actually the cannon went out, which is kind of interesting, but he should have been focused here on the golem. Actually, I might have brought only one, so that might have been why, because I think the golem was actually here instead. But anyhow, doesn't really matter. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a boundary, or you're gonna see why it's called a funnel in a sec. So okay, creating this boundary, and what you're gonna notice here are the two lines. It's like the next closest structure is going to be here to the core, and I can focus my troops so that I have like a large mass of troops that are going to go to the core. And it's a funnel because I'm forcing my troops into the area that I want them to go. So let's watch this. Here we go. Boom. Now see, the golem wasn't close enough for the cannon to lock on. And here we go. Boom. Queen's going in. Perfect. See how that works? Pretty simple. Now, let's show it in dragon form. Was this the right? Here we go. Mini stud. Let's start on this base. I think this one was better. So with dragons, let's pull up the plane here first. So what I'm going to do here is enter here and here. Okay. Now the dragons are going to go due to that concept. But what I'm doing is I'm creating the funnel here. Okay. So what I'm doing is creating the funnel here, and then I have my dragons in this area. I'm creating a short border. This is just a normal funnel for dragons. Sometimes you have to do a super funnel for dragons because they can be very difficult to control. But look here when I do that. Boom, dragons go in, exactly where I showed. Create the line. Look at this large mass of dragons. Focus in a location. Now you're going to see the dragons, once they've taken out their target, start to fan out a little bit more because I didn't do a super funnel. Let me show you dragons without a funnel. Not meaning to pick on him. Okay, so look, he just does kind of a line. Dragons kind of clump up, and notice here, his dragon spread out, does not have this mass going to the air D right here where he really needed it, and his dragons are just kind of all over where he gets this because his dragons win the one-on-ones. But if they didn't win those one-on-ones, this would not have been 3-star. This would have been a 1 to 2-star. And his dragons circle the base. So, you can really see the impact of funneling. So, let me show you a great base. Oh, no, I can probably just go right here. For super funneling and understanding that concept. So here we go. And you're not going to be able to see a replay because, well, there isn't one. But, okay, so we start off, let's change this. Let's start off the funnel here and here. Okay, so the dragons are going to kind of basically take out this, and this one's going to take out this, so that my funnel is like this, right? I think you get that already. Got the dragons in going like this, and they should kind of, start clumping in this way, and they're going to get to this point. Now, when they get to this point, what's going to happen is you're going to see some dragons kind of fan out this way. This is why you need a super funnel. With a super funnel, this you could have dragons even trail out this way. It depends on how the dragons clump up. It might be like this, but if you have any dragon that kind of comes to this cannon, what's going to happen is it's going to come to these defenses because these are the next closest structure, okay, from this cannon. With the super funnel, what I'm doing is then I'm hopefully taking out some of these. Okay, we're hoping that they go here so that my dragons are then totally just focused for the core. Okay, once I take this mortar out and this gold collector, and there is a chance that those might not be taken out in particular, but these would be for sure. And then once they hit this cannon, the dragon should go from here, 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 and then he actually should go here, and then he should come out. But basically, once they hit this area, then they're gonna go back into the core, unless you really are not able to clear this cannon out, and then it's going to the elixir collector. So you can see kind of why the pathing would be pretty bad. So with the super funnel, I'm making the boundary a little bit wider, a little bit more focused so that I can really get my troops into this core because it's very important for a large mass of troops, especially with the air sweeper, which you can't see. Especially with the air sweeper here. Jeez. The air sweeper here. Thanks for the info. I do not care. But for the air sweeper here, because it can really push your dragons away and mess up the AI. Now that could be an issue, and that's why you'd want to send in like loons on this attack, but you can see in that manner. Now, last thing I want to show you, it's also using a queen walk, and so I'm planning on doing a queen walk on this base. But this concept is still used. So what I'm going to do here is I'm using 2 minions, and I'm taking this out, and then I have my queen here. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the queen to go this way. So the way I force her is I create the funnel. It's like half a funnel though, to where I'm taking out this structure. And then the next closest structure is going to be here and here. She could come here. But once she comes here, she's going to be shooting from long range. So the next structure is going to be this. And that way I can start pushing her this way. And this is a very useful concept, the queen walk, that's used in Town Hall 9s, a lot of Town Hall 10s, and especially in Town Hall 11s. I won't make a video on the Queen Walk strategy for right now for war, but I just wanted to show that because that shows you that this idea is used from Town Hall 7 all the way up to Town Hall 11. So, anyhow, that's going to close this video out. Hopefully you guys understand this concept and enjoy this video. But this is Sir Sudmuffin, leader of Affliction, and I'm out. Peace.